Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations, where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. And today is a major prayer book holy day, an important day in the life of the church. Unfortunately, our celebration of the Holy Communion today has been derailed by the impending snowstorm. This morning it's raining. It's going to be turning into snow any minute now, and we are supposed to get pummeled with snow today and tomorrow. So we have, for the travel safety of everybody involved in the parish, we have canceled the Holy Communion service for today and for tomorrow. So I thought today for the morning meditation, rather than talking about the daily office lesson, we would go ahead and read the gospel lesson appointed for today and talk about the feast. The feast is known as the Feast of the Presentation of Christ in the Temple, also most commonly known as the Purification of St. Mary, the Virgin. And so let me read the gospel lesson and then we'll give it an explanation. When the days of the purification, according to the law of Moses, were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord, as it is written in the law of the Lord, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy unto the Lord, and to offer a sacrifice, according to that which is in the law of the Lord, a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. And behold, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Simeon, and the same man was just and devout, waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Ghost was upon him. And it was revealed unto him by the Holy Ghost that he should not see death before he'd seen the Lord's Christ. So he came in the Spirit to the temple. And when the parents brought up the child Jesus to do for him after the custom of the law, then he took him up in his arms and blessed God and said, Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace, according to thy word. For mine eyes have seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared before the face of all people, a light to lighten the Gentiles, and the glory of thy people Israel. And Joseph and his mother marveled at those things which were spoken of him. And, behold, the child was set for the fall and many of rising in Israel. For a sign it shall be spoken against. A sword shall pierce through thine own soul also, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher, who was of great age, and had lived with a husband 7 years from her virginity, and she had been a widow for 64 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fastings and prayers night and day. And she, coming to that instant, gave thanks unto the Lord, and spake of him to all that looked for the redemption in Jerusalem. And when they had performed all things according to the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee, to their own city Nazareth. And the child grew, and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Okay, so what we heard about the presentation of Christ in the temple, we heard about the law involving the presenting of every male that shall open the womb shall be called holy unto the Lord. But the secondary part of this, as it started out at the very beginning of the lesson, it said, according to the purification, when her purification was done. Remember that the women were expected to be basically isolated from the bigger, larger worshiping community for 40 days after the birth of a child. This has to do with the Jewish issue of the issue of blood, and the sense of it being unclean during the woman's regular cycles, and then for 40 days after the birth of a child. But I have to say there is, as I've been told by many women in the life of the church and outside of it as well, that there is a genius to saying that for 40 days you should just be spending time with your child, nursing your child, caring for your child, bonding with your child, and recovering from the trauma that is giving birth. So there is a genius to it as well. And so we see those two things come together on that 40th day where the woman is readmitted for public worship, as well as the child being presented to God. And of course, the idea of this, the idea of the ritual itself, we get a sense of it in our prayer book with the prayers for the churching of women. And if you haven't glanced through the prayer book, go ahead and read those prayers. They're really quite wonderful. So as I said, today is Wednesday. There'll be no services today at St. John's. So bundle up. Be sure to be safe during our snowstorm if you are here in Metro Detroit. And may God give you a day that is full of blessings.